Welcome back to the Twin Times Podcast, episode 21. Today we have another special guest. Her name is Jessica McCall. She runs a TV show on community television at Channel 44 in Adelaide and Channel 31 in Melbourne called BTS with Jess. We talk about her show, of course, her aspiration to work in the film and TV industry, and also her stance on community television and how it helps the community and young filmmakers to build a career. Other than that, let's hop into the episode. How are you, Jess?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Very well, very well. Where are you coming to from today?
So I'm at McGill University, UniSA, at the podcast studio. So hopefully the audio is nice and clear, and is it coming through clearly to you?
Yeah, we can hear you. That's fine.
Good. So which one of you is which?
Yeah. No one's asked me that question. So I'm Lewis on your right, I think, or your left.
Yes.
Yeah.
No glasses.
In the white t-shirt. In the white t-shirt. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'm Charlie in the pink jumper
with the glasses.
Lovely to meet you both, and thank you so much for wanting to have me on your podcast.
Oh, no worries, Jess. Like we've been watching you for a while, and when I saw you promoting your show earlier this year, I thought, well, she's someone to keep an eye on. I think we might
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Of course, yeah. So, my name's Jessica McCall, and I live in Gawler in South Australia, and I'm 23 years old. I'm the host producer, sorry, director and editor, I guess, of BTS with Jess, which is a youth arts show on Channel 44 Adelaide and Channel 31 Melbourne.
For you, sort of just starting out in the film and TV industry, I guess, what sparked the idea to want you to embark on a career like this? It's a tough industry to get into, so.
That is a great question. So I'm doing a Bachelor of Creative Industries at UniSA, which is, my majors are film, television, and journalism, which basically just makes up broadcast journalism. And, there's a partnership there with Channel 44 Adelaide. I'd seen other students and other young people in the area who were involved in TV shows at Channel 44, and then they get distributed to Channel 31 Melbourne as well. And I thought, that is such a good idea and such a great way to get into the industry and to start making a name for yourself. And I've always wanted to be a TV host or a TV presenter, so I thought, well, I might as well, pitch the idea to the uni, see what they think, see how Channel 44 can get involved, and then the rest is history, to be honest. Yeah.
It's been great so far. I'll tell you that. We watched an episode the other night. I think it was the theatre episode, I think, or the drama episode.
Yeah,
there were a couple people in there. I was like, holy shit.
That's so good. I'm so glad you watched it.
Yeah, it was great. And I saw, like, when doing my research, you sort of changed your degree halfway through your studies. You're studying,
yes, I did.
Bachelor of Secondary Education.
That is right. So, both of my parents are teachers. So I thought, "Oh, I'll be a teacher." Like, it's just written in the stars, I guess. And then I started my degree and got to, like, a year and a half through, went to placement, and I thought, "Yeah, this confirms every thought I had that this is not for me." I just did not enjoy it at all. I did,
What were the the reasonings, like the big points of isn't really for me?
That's a very, very tough question. I think, I deep down always known that I wanted to be in, like, media communications, TV presenting, so I think it just didn't align with what I fundamentally wanted to do, and that became really obvious when I went into the classroom on a placement. So that was when I was like, "Nope, I am dropping this degree altogether," but it was really good as well because not only did I make so many friends, who I'm still very, very close with now, but I also, majored in, visual art and drama, which has been absolutely amazing, with my arts show now that I have. I've been able to apply that knowledge to the show, to the interviews with my guests, especially because it's a youth audience as well, so it's actually been really handy. Hex debt aside.
Just started, in a way, your career as a television presenter in film industry. What kind of has stood out to you so far as a presenter?
That's a great question. So one thing that I have noticed is the difference between the first, like I guess you'd say like piece to camera or like interviews that I did for my first episode to what I'm currently doing now or what I was doing for my most recent episodes. And during the editing process and like getting all the episodes together and ready to go, I looked at the first episode that I did and then the last one that I'd done and thought, "Oh my goodness, it's insane just how much I've been able to develop my skills and, like, my presenting abilities on the camera," and that was
Mm,
just so
mm.
encouraging. So that's, like, something that I always think of when I get asked that question 'cause,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just amazing to see.
Well, you definitely have a natural knack for it.
Yeah.
Like it's
Thank you.
not everyone can get in front of a camera and do what you do, and even
Do you have nerves when doing it, or are you just
yeah,
like, let's just go
let's
for it?
go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, I used to, for probably the
Mhm.
first couple of episodes, I was like, "Oh, what am I gonna say?" And then I'd screw it up and start again and, go several times until I got it right. But now it's just like, I just go for it. It's funny because a lot of people would be terrified about speaking in front of a camera or, like, speaking
Mm.
publicly, but I'm just like, if I have some other problem that most people wouldn't care about, I get, like, so anxious about that. But then if I'm speaking in front of a camera or in front of an audience, I'm like, "Yeah, whatever." Like, it's
Yeah. Okay.
so weird. But
Yeah,
yeah.
it's interesting that, but everyone's different.
Yeah.
Everyone has their own individual traits. As we spoke with our recent guest that we had on, Charlotte Young, and she had the same sort of ordeal with speaking in front of people. Like she would
Yeah.
feel nervous while she's doing it beforehand, but then straight afterwards she would just get the shakes and start being really
Right.
nervous. Yeah, so it's
That is
very
so
interesting.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. In a way, just starting out your career, what do you hope to achieve in the business?
So, great question. I love this question. I've loved doing my TV show BTS with Jess so far. Like, it's a topic that I'm so passionate about. Like getting young people involved in the arts and showcasing the benefits of the arts and getting them, out in the community. So that's a show topic that I really am passionate about, and I think that's been a great way of, I guess, showing me what the area that I want to go into in the future when hosting or presenting shows. Things that are really community focused, put across a really great message, impact people in a good way, and then being able to bring my skills as a presenter to the table to bring that message across to the community is
Mm.
very rewarding. And that's a path that I hope to continue on, especially like, getting into bigger, like more maybe commercial TV so that I'm,
Yeah.
making a living out of it one day would be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like, are you into sort of that documentary type of filmmaking in a way?
Yeah.
I love documentary filmmaking, so it's a dream of mine to, host or present documentaries.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah,
similar to what I'm doing now, except it's not really a documentary, it's a magazine style documentary, I suppose.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, I love documentaries and, that would be, yeah, as I just said, another dream of mine to present a documentary.
Oh, I'm sure you'll achieve it, don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Let's go on to BTS with Jess. What a great show. What a great concept. Were you an artsy person growing up?
Oh, look, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm
Mm,
very happy with the concept I've come up with for this show, and
mm.
that means a lot. So, yes, I was very much an artsy person growing up. Have you ever been to the Gawler Show?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, so
Or maybe
I
as a kid. Yeah.
yes, exactly. So I was there every year. I used to present my artwork at the Gawler Show, like put in exhibits of craft and artwork and things that I've made out of modeling clay at the show every year as a kid, and I loved it so much. I used to do painting and drawing and all sorts of things every day. Yeah, it was just like so much fun for me, and I loved it so much. And it was such a good outlet for me as well, growing up, and
Okay.
as a young person developing and coming to terms with myself, whatever you wanna call it. It was such a great outlet and such a positive way to express myself. And then moving into my teenage years, I did, like, theatre, as an extracurricular activity. I did a bit of puppets as well, so, like,
Oh,
ventriloquist
yes.
puppets, which was so much fun.
Yeah, cool.
What type
Yes.
of puppets did you do?
It's like a ventriloquist puppet, so, like,
Yeah,
the puppet
right.
talks, but it's actually you talking, but no one
Yeah,
wakes up.
Phil.
So, yeah, so that was so much fun, and I've always been I'd like to think a creative person, and I love the
Mm.
arts, so yes, definitely, and that's what I think inspired me to, do this topic for my show.
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
what in a way sparked the idea? Like, did you always sort of wanted to encourage youth to get out there, or was it just something I want to start a TV show and go for it?
A bit of both. So I wanted to start a
Mm.
TV show. I'm just gonna adjust this microphone, it's a bit
Yeah, so
that's
that's
better.
right.
So, yeah, I'd always wanted to start a TV show, being an aspiring TV presenter. And I thought, well, like, I'm someone that's always been really into the arts, and I love the idea of, getting youth engaged in the arts and engaged in the community, especially considering the positive impact it had had on me. I thought, well, it's gotta be good for other people, the community loves it. So it's a great topic for a TV show. And Channel 44 was happy and the uni was happy. So yeah, the rest is history.
Mm.
Mm.
And I saw you had a premiere at the Gawler Cinema. We weren't able to go,
Yeah.
unfortunately, but what was the reception like when it first saw it on that big screen?
It was an amazing night. So,
Mm.
the Gawler Cinema was honestly just about packed, which I was
Wow.
not expecting. So,
Mm,
it was like there was just about a bum in every seat. It was
mm,
amazing. So many people rocked up, and especially people that have been in the show as well. They brought their family and their friends,
mm,
people who had contributed to the show being made. So, like, my camera operator was there. She was taking photos on the night too. Lots of
mm,
people from the university because the university supports my show. And then the Bunyip newspaper came as well. Karen Redmond, the mayor of Gawler, came as well, and she actually opened the
Wow.
night. It was just an absolutely incredible night, and it was amazing seeing what I'd made up on the screen and everyone in the room just having such a great time watching it.
yeah, and everyone who was a part of the
Yeah.
show, I guess, would have felt that as well.
How long did it take to make from like pre-production to post to seeing on the big screen? How long did it take?
Good question. So, probably about a year, I'm gonna say.
Okay. Roughly.
Although when I first coined the idea to the university, probably 18 months, because then it took me a while to
Yeah.
actually come up with a more solid concept and then go and start making it and, writing up all the information and getting all the boring bits organized.
Mm.
But then eventually, like, I'd started filming it, and I'm gonna say the second half of last year was, like, that was when everything started to really come together. So I had all my guests lined up, all my interviews, filmed probably a couple of times a week easily, and then I was editing
Mm.
each one, um, and then got them all edited and done by early this year, and then they went to air. So it
Yeah.
kind of started off slow and then all happened really quickly, and then it was
Yeah.
Mm,
suddenly done. But now I'm, like, thinking for future seasons, it's gonna be much easier now that I've got
yeah,
the foundations of it sorted and
Mm.
I can just hit the ground running.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you find that process in the edit sort of stressful to sort of put
Yeah.
together, or did you find it sort of easy?
Um, as I first started out, it was pretty stressful because I'd never used Premiere Pro before, so I had
Okay,
to teach
right.
myself all those bits and pieces of how to do it.
Yeah.
And that was, yeah, if you ask Andre, who was here just now, how many times I've rang him up going, "Help me, I don't know what I'm doing." Yeah, if I had $1 for every time I'd rang Andre for help, I would be a rich woman by now
Yeah.
because,
Yeah, right.
yeah, there was a lot to learn, but it's very rewarding having been
Mm.
able to learn all of those things of how to, you know, make an edit on Premiere Pro and use all of the, um, features of the program. And now I feel very well equipped to make future episodes, and just get onto it with minimal help from the university or whoever it is. So, yeah,
Yeah,
it's been great.
Yeah.
beautiful.
When you're coming up with questions for the guests that you have on your show, is it structured out like weeks in advance, or is it somewhat like some of the questions are they like in the moment? Is it like spontaneous kind of thing?
Oh, I love this question. So, when it's like a sit down interview, like a proper interview where it's like
Mm.
one featured guest for the
Yeah.
entire 8-minute segment, it's normally a matter of, drafting up some questions beforehand, but I still do go off track and ad lib depending on what they say, so I just bounce
Yeah.
off of what they say, but I still like to have a few notes. However, if it's more like a vox pop situation where I'm visiting, like, a group of people and going
Mm.
around and talking to each one, I just go off the cuff. I just ask them whatever feels right in the moment, and that
Yeah.
usually works really well too. And
Mm.
I do find that if I draft out lots of questions and go through, with lots of questions that I end up with, like, an hour's worth of footage when I can only use 5 minutes. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just an absolute hassle going through all of this, like, yeah, it's crazy. So, for the most part, I just go off the cuff.
Yeah.
It's also good to, in a way, go off the cuff. You can bounce off in the moment,
Yeah.
ask questions that interest, that are a bit of a spark to you as well.
That's right, especially since
Mm.
I've found that, I write questions sometimes on, like, a sheet of paper or whatever and bring it along to the interview, and then I end up not using half the questions because they don't
Oh, yeah.
fit
Mm.
the
Yeah.
moment or whatever,
Yeah.
they're not relevant,
Yeah.
so
I found
definitely.
that I found that when we were doing something over in Sydney about a year ago. I had all these notes prepared for what I was going to say on camera, and I reckon I used probably a paragraph of it,
Yeah.
and then the rest was all off the top of my head. So
Yeah.
I feel
Yep,
it's good to be in the moment and present. Sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Why do you feel, in a way, it's important to represent local communities for your TV show? Like, I think one was Expressway Arts. I think there was oh, something to do with Scouts, I think.
Yes, the comedy capers.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Why do you feel that's important to sort of show off these type of local things that are going on?
Oh, there is so many answers to that question. I love that question. So, to
Mm,
start with, I think it's a great way to shine the spotlight on young local talented people who are in the community
Mm.
who maybe, haven't really got in the spotlight yet. They haven't been on TV yet, or they haven't, had their work promoted publicly, and that's a really great way to have them on for an interview, and then it gets on TV, and then they can start getting their name out there. So that's really, really good. And then also being able to promote, arts groups or initiatives or, like, arts career pathways for young people in the community as well. It gets, the message out there and shows, members of the community that that group or that service or initiative or whatever it is available, and then young people can come and join after hearing from members of that group how beneficial it's been to them.
yeah.
Mm.
And what I also noticed with the guest interviews or the people that were on camera that you were interviewing, they all sort of were drawn to wanting to be on camera. Was it like that on the day when you were recording?
Pretty much. So most of
Yeah.
them, like I might go to, say, I don't know, Expressway Arts, for example, or True North Youth Theatre, and there might be some people that don't want to be on camera, so or like don't want to be interviewed. They're still happy to be on camera, so they'll be there in the background, but they don't want to talk, and that's fine. And then I'll just go
Oh.
and chat to someone else who is like dying to have their 15 seconds of fame, and they can't wait to get on camera. And
Yeah.
they love it. They have a great time, and it
Yeah.
really comes off on the camera
Yeah.
eventually in the final edit too, so yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember interviewing someone called Kynan or Kynan Hartley?
I do, yes, at, Expressway Arts.
Yeah, he's
Mm.
very much like that.
Yes.
That's his
Yeah, he had
little
a great time, that was
puns.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good bloke as well.
yeah.
He's gonna watch this episode, so I think he'll like
Amazing.
that I've mentioned that.
Yeah.
Yes. Hello,
Yeah, he's
Kynan.
all right. Oh, that makes the cut. Yeah, that's great.
Do you believe that television presenting in a way is your calling, your passion?
Ooh, I think, yeah, definitely. Like, I think I'm just really passionate about it, and there's so many different directions you can go with it too. Like we were talking before about documentaries and about how
Mm.
amazing it would be to present or host a documentary. And then you can go into so many other different areas as well. So, like lifestyle shows or arts
Mm.
shows, like what I'm doing at the moment, or, some people even present the news. Like, it could be
Mm,
anything. So many
Mm.
different opportunities and different pathways that are all so important. And I think there's so many different ways that you can go with TV presenting and different topics and different messages to get across to the community. And I think if you're passionate about it, then yeah, definitely that there's so many options for you.
yeah, no, it's a beautiful thing.
Who's your favorite documentarian?
Mm.
David Attenborough. 100%.
David,
Yeah.
David. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
grew
see,
up
mine,
watching David Attenborough.
Yeah.
really, yeah, right.
Yep.
See, mine's have you ever watched Louis Theroux or some of his
I
documentaries?
think so. Yeah, I've definitely heard of him.
Yeah, very good documentary.
Yeah.
Love him. It's my sort of favorite style of filmmaking.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it's ideal. What is your current stance on community TV, and why do you believe it's important for sort of yourself and young filmmakers?
I think it gives so many opportunities for young people, or anyone for that matter, to really get their teeth into that kind of work. So, if you want to be a cinematographer or a editor or a director or anything, there's opportunities for that within community TV. So, for example, there's a show, or I think 2 shows now actually, that are made here at the TV studio at McGill campus, and it requires heaps of crew that are all students, and they love it. They do the camera operating, they do the editing, they do the directing. I don't know about all the other roles, but they do it all,
Yeah.
and they absolutely love it, and it's most weeks they get to come in every week and do it. And that's really building up their practical skills in a real world setting through community TV. And then, of
Mm.
course, there's people like me that go out on location with a camera operator who also loves what she does and gets to, you know, do that as well and build up her skills. And then I get to present and produce and edit and build up my skills as well. So then by the time I've done a few seasons of this show, I will be able to go, I'm experienced and skilled at this, and then I'll be able to get a job like the next level up.
It's great, it's for people to get experience in those departments, but it would also, would you say it would build them a lot of confidence in their fields of interest?
Absolutely. Well, it definitely
Mm.
has for me. And I know that a lot of the other students who I just mentioned who help out on the TV set as well here have gained so much confidence in their own abilities. Um, and yeah, I think that's absolutely invaluable, to be honest. And that's such a important role that community TV plays in the industry for up and coming professionals. And also, I think as well, and a whole other aspect to it, just community voices that get like a chance to be heard on community TV. So, for example, like what we were saying before about the people who I interviewed from, Expressway Arts and the Scouts and those types of groups, they might not get onto commercial TV. People that do presenting or interviewing on community TV, some of them might not be able to get on commercial TV, at least until they've had some experience on community TV anyway. And that's just so important for communicating like messages in the community and promoting groups in the community and bringing the community together, I think, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Wasn't there a time where Channel 44 was potentially going to get shut down at some stage?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
there
think
was.
so.
So I
Yeah.
think it was before the election. It had, I think,
Okay. Yeah.
3 years or something. I might be getting that wrong, but it was like a limited amount of time, or it wasn't intended to keep on going and going. And then, uh, forward fast forward to recently, they recently passed the bill in Parliament to keep it on air indefinitely, I think, or at least for the next 10 years, I'm pretty sure it is,
Oh,
or
nice.
as long as they want to keep broadcasting. So that is a huge step forward for both Channel 44 and Channel 31 in Melbourne as well.
Yeah. No, it's beautiful. We need more of it, especially to help promote young filmmakers to make a stand in the industry, I guess.
Do you have a goal in mind of where BTS might go?
So, at this point, I'm hoping to continue making more episodes, and then they'll go up on CTV Plus and be broadcasted on Channel 31 and Channel 44 over here. So, I'm really wanting to use it to expand my own skills as a presenter, and be able to use it to empower other students at uni to come on board and help as well. They love doing the camera operating, and that's always such a great time. So I think there's so many avenues for it to help build my skills and other people's skills too. And of course, have a variety of guests on, visit a variety of different arts related groups, to make all different types of episodes with different topics. And I just think using it as an avenue to really get in touch with the local community, showcase people's talents, and build up my own portfolio is really where it's at the moment.
I was going to say, is season 2 potentially on the way?
I may not be able to give a definite yes or no,
That's all right.
but I can say that is a fantastic question. And I'm very
All right.
excited for the future of my show, so hopefully that
Keeping it
answers a
very
very
quiet.
roundabout
We
way.
love that. Do you still see yourself working in community TV 5 years from now, or would you like to potentially, like you said, you'd like to go into more commercial-based work or
Or documentary
style filmmaking? Where do you see yourself going?
Oh, who knows? I think community TV.
Sky's the limit.
Exactly. So it'll
Mm.
always have a very, very special place in my heart. And even in 5 years, I think I will still have my fingers in a lot of pies in community TV, and I'll still be doing something, whether it be continuing with my show or I don't know, whatever it is. Even if I'm still, or by then I'm doing commercial TV or documentaries or whatever it is. But I think in some way, shape, or form, I will always, have, uh, affiliations with community TV, considering the amount of work that I've done with them on this show.
Yeah, no, I think they would love to have you
for as long as they can.
as long as they can, and hopefully recognize you one day when you're quite big and successful. Who knows?
Oh, I hope
It's
so.
the limit. No, believe in yourself, Jess.
Believe.
Courage and
Thank
confidence
you.
always gets you there at the end of the day. Final question. So thanks for coming on, Jess. It's
Thank
been
you for having me.
yeah, it's been an absolute privilege, and like you're kicking goals in the industry and doing great things. So we can't wait to see where it goes next. I'm really
And
hoping season
likewise
2
as
comes soon.
well.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
What advice would you give to your younger self? You're still young, but what advice would you give to that person maybe just about to change your degree into media journalism?
Yeah.
What would you say to that person?
That's a great question. I would say, just do it because, even if I maybe was a bit nervous about it or I thought maybe it wouldn't work out or it wouldn't be worth it because of the added HEC debt or whatever it is definitely worth it because if I was continuing as a teacher, I would be dragging myself out of bed every morning and going to a job which I didn't enjoy, and I would be miserable. But now that I'm actually on the right path and I'm doing what I'm truly passionate about and I'm getting up every morning to go to uni and learn about this or, be on podcasts like this or film my show or edit my show or MC an event or whatever it might be, I'm just genuinely so, confident that I'm on the right path, and I think if I would have heard myself say that a couple of years ago when I changed degrees, that would have made the world of difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that younger person would be very proud of where you've come so far.
Yeah.
And you're only going to continue to do great things. So thank you for coming on. It's been an absolute privilege, and we'll see you around, I guess.
You definitely will, and thank you both so much for having me on the show. Like, it's been an absolute privilege to chat to you guys and tell you all about my show, and thank you so much for following along as well and supporting, what I'm doing and getting behind community TV.
No worries.
Anytime. Yeah.
We love it. All right, take care, Jess.
Have a good
You
one.
too. See ya.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
What a great conversation to have with Jessica McCall around her TV show, BTS with Jess, and her stance on community television, how it supports young filmmakers like her and myself to be able to make a career in the industry. If you want to learn more about Jessica McCall and BTS with Jess, link to her website and her Instagram will be in the description. If you want to learn more about Twin Times, the links to Charlie and I's Instagrams will be in the description below as well. Other than that, it's a wrap. So this has been the Twin Times podcast. We wish you nothing but peace and love throughout the rest of the week. If you are on Spotify, please give us a rating out of 5 stars and a follow. And if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Other than that, we'll see you in the next one.